Today's fitness and wellness planning video is going to be a little bit different. It's going to be a chatty one. Well, I guess that's not completely different, but regardless, we're going to be chatting about my fitness and wellness journey thus far in 2025, doing kind of a flip through of my daily planning pages and chatting about what changes I need to make both in fitness and wellness and in planning. So stay tuned. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. For those of you that may be new, welcome. My name is Tracy and I'm a girl with plans. I want to thank you all for joining me today. So, those of you that have been with me for a while know that fitness and wellness planning has been a big staple in my channel or on my channel. I have had my YouTube channel for about a couple of years now. And ever since I started, one of the constants, I used to do a plan with me video every single week in my fitness and wellness planner. At that time, when I first started, I was using happy planners. And I was, decorating it with stickers and things like that. And I had separate fitness and separate wellness planners. So it was a lot of fun to decorate because I had multiple planners. And then last year, in the middle of last year, I switched to a daily planner. I switched to a Go Getter Girl daily planner. I absolutely loved it because guess what? Instead of having to use two separate planners to track my fitness in one and my wellness, which is like nutrition, stats as far as like energy and stuff like that, I can now combine everything into one planner. So I love that. It was a lot of fun. I still tried to maintain like weekly plan with me's there, but it's a little bit harder sometimes to do those in a daily planner. I just feel like they're not as fun to watch just because, what am I going to do here as far as setting it up? Everything's pretty much set up for me. I have the hours here, which is where I can write basically everything that I track, mostly wellness. But I track them on the actual times that they occur. So when I eat a meal, I will put it in the time slot, what I ate to kind of log my food. I track my energy levels. When I wake up, I put that there. If it's before 6 a.m., I will just note that. I do track when I work out as well because I feel like knowing the times when I'm like trying to get a picture of the day and I'm tracking my energy levels, it kind of gives that complete picture of like rises and dips in my energy level. What could be causing it? Is it due to something I ate or something other reason? So because of that, I just haven't been doing as many setup videos. I just feel like they're just not as fun to watch. So yeah, the other thing is I haven't really been decorating it. And to be completely honest, I don't know if it's because they aren't decorated, but I honestly haven't been using it as much either. And again, I love the layout. It has everything I need. So I don't think it has anything to do with the planner. I think it more or less just has to do with this year. It's just been a bad year when it comes to just my overall fitness and wellness. There has been a lack of motivation, I will say, but I did recently have a doctor's appointment. And even though I knew my adrenals were pretty much done, pretty much got the confirmation. And that has been the main reason for my energy levels. They have just been, I've always had like cortisol issues, adrenal issues. But this year, for some reason, as soon as the new year hit, they just almost flatlined. And when I say flatline, as I wake up and I feel okay in the mornings, I have not been feeling as good in the morning as far as like energized and ready to go. But I still am at my like energy height in the morning. And literally, I would say around between like 11 a.m. and 1 p.m., my energy just goes and is gone to the point where I am like struggling to even function at that point. I might have like slight upticks, but they're very few and far between. So yeah, that has been probably one of the main struggles for me this year that has really made it hard to even want to work out. And I probably should have been listening to my body in the sense of doing workouts that you should be doing when you have adrenal issues, which are kind of your low intensity workouts. However, when I work out, I really like doing certain workouts. Like I love lifting like heavy things. I think it's fun. But that can definitely be a stressor on your adrenals, especially because it makes your heart rate shoot up, which is another added stressor. I love my like cardio. I don't love cardio, but like the cardio I like to do is a little bit of more of a higher intensity. And that also is a stress for the adrenals. So, yeah, that is kind of where I am. And that is one of the reasons why this year has been a struggle. I think it's going to be quite a challenge to turn it around. I don't think it's going to be instant from what I've discussed with my doctor. I think it's going to take quite a bit of time. So that means I need to kind of like switch things around. Not necessarily as far as my nutrition planning. Those that have saw my nutrition planning and my nutrition goals for this year, honestly, those are going to stay the same. I just need to follow through. I mean, it's simple as that. My workout goals are going to change. I'm going to have to now focus on those lower intensity workouts, which were kind of part of my goals. Previously, I kind of have been saying on my channel, I really want to get into yoga. Now I guess I have no other choice. Before, that's kind of what has brought me here today. Usually people do these at the end of the quarter. I guess I'm not too far behind for like an end of the quarter review, but this is just kind of an into a certain phase, I guess you can say, in the beginning of a new one, because I need to start working on healing my adrenals so I can kind of get back into functioning order. So we're going to kind of do this recap now. I guess for me, my plan was kind of do this at the end of June because this is a 6-month planner. So I had planned on, using this for 6 months. My goals were set for 6 months, but we're just going to go ahead and see what's going on now. I will say I liked how I set up my goals. I think these were decent goals, especially for the time. I did a complete goal setting video. I did the reflections and all that good stuff. What I did is I did the reflections first. I did the brainstorming first, and then I came in and did this. And I think they were good goals. I don't think they're horrible, as far as even with the adrenal issue. I can't remember because now that's like 4 or 5 months ago that I set these up. I don't know if I said this, but like in the past, I've been like so against like setting like weight loss goals. Like I'm just like, nope, don't want to do it. Don't want to pay attention to the scale just because the scale fluctuates sometimes due to no control of your own, just hormones and other things going on in your life, things like that. That has nothing to do with your food intake, exercise, or anything like that. Sometimes exercise can make the scale go up just because your body's retaining water, all this stuff. I am not an expert. This is just things that people have told me, and I believe them. But I did add that this year just because I felt like the scale was definitely moving in the wrong direction. So I wanted to have something to kind of measure because some of these other things are harder to measure. You can kind of just go by how you feel, and sometimes that isn't instantaneous either. In other words, like for me, I'm struggling with energy, and like I said, like my energy on a scale of 1 to 10 is probably like a 2 or a 3 through most of the day. If I start eating healthy, I might see slow improvements. I might be a 3 or a 4, but until I really do it for a longer period of time, like months, I might not see that instantaneous like improvement that I really want. So yeah, that's why like the scale, even though I'm usually like, that's how we should measure. I feel like this year it's been okay. And plus it's been like the one thing that has worked for me is like, for some reason I have ended up losing some weight, during all of this. Fitness, these goals, like I said, I love to lift heavy things. I love to lift weights. I think it's fun. I feel like a complete baddie when I'm doing it. Especially feels good when you're like lifting heavier than you had previously. Again, it's that whole like you can see the success when you're like usually doing like 12-pound curls, dumbbells for your curls, and now you're up to 15. Don't laugh at me. To me, that's like high. That's a high number. So like when you're up to like 15 pounds, it's like, yes. So that's one of the reasons why I like doing this. I feel like sometimes cardio is a little bit harder to measure because I don't have the fancy equipment that can like measure some of those metrics. for me. The improved flexibility, I haven't been doing yoga or stretching. That's going to have to change. I mean, that's going to have to change or else I won't be working out. That's pretty much my only workout options. And then improve endurance, that I hadn't been doing, but that would come with cardio. Unfortunately, that is going to have to pause. I think I'm going to start maybe adding in walks as soon as I'm able to tolerate the allergies and the pollen and all the nastiness that is happening right now outside. I definitely want to get back into walks. I won't be able to do them as frequently just because I am working a more hybrid schedule now. So I'm going into the office multiple times during the week, but on my days that I'm working from home, I will usually wake up and just like throw on my workout clothes and then do a morning walk. And then by the time I get back, it's time to start my work day anyway. So then I can just start working. So that I need to do. I knew I couldn't do it until after pollen season is over. But like I said, I'm fingers crossed it should be on the uptick because it started earlier this year. Hopefully it'll end early. Nutrition. These goals are going to stay the same, even with my adrenal issues, because a lot of this is kind of like again, I am not an expert, but talking to my doctor, doing some research on my own, the kind of plan that I've had for healthy eating, it's pretty much what is recommended for adrenal fatigue, things like that. And then the same thing for wellness, which this was all about labs, like my blood work and like all of that, just trying to stabilize things and reduce inflammation, which is kind of direct to nutrition, but this is going to be like how a lot of that's measured. Self-care, I've actually done okay in some aspects of that, but I can do a lot better. And I really need to focus on this also for adrenals, just to kind of help with cortisol and stress and things like that. So that's kind of where we are. It's kind of like, in all honesty, most of the stuff is going to stay the same, especially when it comes to nutrition, wellness, self-care. Fitness is going to change. I don't know. I'll have to look at that when I go to kind of set up some newer goals. I don't know when I'm going to set that up. I don't know. I'm going to set like some fitness and nutrition goals for the month of May. I don't think I'm going to set that up. I have to think about it. So just kind of flipping through the planner because I hadn't done this. I didn't do a quarter flip through. I set up these really cool pages at the beginning of the year. Some of you may have caught this setup video. I mean, at least I got them done and maybe given some people some ideas, but I haven't used them. Wins, I don't really know that I had a lot of wins this year. Like I said, the scale is moving in the correct direction, but that also could be due to a loss of muscle mass because I've been so inconsistent. So I don't really know yet. But other than that, like I said, it's been a struggle. So off the top of my head, I can't think of too many wins as far as like wellness. I guess gluten-free. I have been gluten-free pretty much. If I need to just like look back through here just to make sure. But I think since the beginning of the year, I have not eaten gluten that I know of. That's always the key. I do eat out at restaurants and we know cross-contamination cannot always be avoided. But at least like intentional, I've not intentionally eaten any gluten. So that would be a win for me. This was good intentions. I don't think this has anything to do with exhaustion, motivation, or anything. I just have not updated this, y'all. I have not updated. I updated it in February. That's why there are different colors, but I have not updated it. I actually had done a decent amount of weight training just because I've been doing a lot of upper body weight training. So I know I've finished at least one column and I'm probably onto the second column. Some of these other ones, not so much. As far as I don't really think there's that much to add. So basically just the weight training and the total. I don't think I've done very good with my rings, closing my rings. Yeah. So with that said, I'm also not very good with turning my watch on workout mode. So, maybe I would have closed some rings, probably not quite like whole columns or even a half column full, but I think I probably would have if I could remember to always turn on my workout mode. But yeah, I think this is good in concept. It's just for me, I'm really bad with habit trackers in general. Monthly habit trackers do not work for me, so I don't know why I thought a 6-year habit tracker would work. I thought just kind of doing the end of the year, the end of the month, like this is what I was trying to do, write everything on the actual calendar and then come into here and fill it out at the end of the month. I haven't even been keeping up with this. I did okay here, but I had not done, like here was February, March, March I didn't even use. I did work out a few days in March, y'all, a few days, but I didn't write it in here, and April's the same thing. I did a couple, but I've worked out a little bit more than this. So yeah, I'm just not going in here and writing it. And then I have my weight loss tracker. I do need to color in a few more. Definitely haven't hit my goal, but I think in all honesty, it is a possibility of hitting my goal by July, especially if I start making some of these changes. I think I could do it. I'm not actually that far off. Like I said, however, if I start making some of these changes, it is possible I could gain some weight too, which might be a healthy thing. It's not always a negative thing. So this is how I've been using my planner. I've been setting up monthly goals. This wasn't all goals. This was also some other things. I did do videos of everything. I think January and February. I don't know that I did. Maybe I did a March. Yeah, I did March, but I did not do an April. A specific April goal setup. I just incorporated that into my regular goal planning video and not like a fitness and wellness specific one. But I do have videos about this. And I did like how I did this this year. This was something new where I kind of set the goals. So like you can kind of see how I divided them into categories. And then I kind of went a little bit further and tried to think about how I can achieve those goals. So like for fitness and wellness, I created this goal plan of like a number of workouts I wanted to do. I'm like, okay, well, what does my ideal workout look like for the week? Like I'm going to like pencil it in Monday through Sunday, but I could move things around. But like what workouts would I be doing in a week in order to meet that goal? So that was something, new. I didn't stick to it. Like I said, it's been a really bad 4 months, but I kind of like that concept, and it is something that I may keep up with, even though I'm changing my workouts and how I do them. They all might be yoga workouts. I still kind of like this because there are different types of yoga, so I still may do that. See, I told you I am horrible with any type of habit tracking. I would love to be able to do it. I just can't do that. So the way I've been using this planner is I have been pre-planning. I have been penciling in the actual workouts I want to do for the week. I go in my app, pick them out. It just makes my life so much easier. And then I pre-plan some meals or meal ideas. Let's say that. So January is not really, I think these are blank pages. January is not really something that I feel like you can judge how the year's going because, we're all gung-ho around that time. I had been off work toward the end of December, so, I was ready to go and get started. But this is how I utilize my planner for those of you that may be new. Like I said, I use the hours to my advantage, and I do pencil in like when I eat, what I eat during that hour, my energy level. So at 7:30, my energy was a 7. I ate at 10 a.m. This is what I ate. At 12:30, my energy was a 5. I ate a snack. I don't know. Maybe that was my lunch. Maybe I had a Quest protein cookie for lunch. I think that's what I had for lunch. That's really bad, by the way. It tastes fine, but that's not a good lunch. But that's kind of how I did things. And then I did my workout stats and stuff over here. So you can see I tried, y'all. I tried. You can see sometimes I just didn't write very much at all. This one, I didn't even write when I woke up. It's just been even a struggle to get into this planner. This one, I didn't even do a good job of setting up the week. Look how cute these stickers are. I start out strong on Mondays and Tuesdays. This one was Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. And then I kind of fall off a little bit. Oh, this one actually wasn't a bad week. This is like one of the rare good weeks. Okay, this was pretty good, man. This is a good week. as far as filling things out. I'm not saying that was a good week as far as eating or anything like that, but as far as filling things out. So yeah, you can kind of see things are kind of all over the place. Because this planner was so thick, I actually uncoiled it, recoiled it, I added some pages. I moved some pages around because the Erin Condren, it keeps the months together. So like all the days in January are under the January monthly, which is fine. But I kind of like setting up the week and then having all of the pages for that week behind here. So like, when did the 31st happen? So like in this month, I took out the 31st because I didn't work out, but it would have ended on the 31st. Like for May, it would have just had the 30th in here and it ended. For me, I wanted the 1st in here too. So the 1st was actually in June and I moved that to May because I need the full week in here. So I want it to end on a Sunday. I don't care if the Sunday is in the following month. I don't care if the Sunday is like the 28th and there's a few more days left. I want the full week in here. So like May, if May ended up in here because of how the week started, I would have been fine with that. I just like doing the week by week type of planning. So February is pretty much non-existent. I didn't even check off what I did for the goals. I think I might have went over it though in a video. But for the most part, it's like I set the goals. I have all kinds of intentions, but I really didn't make them happen. I was trying to kind of set some like no back-to-back days off goals. That just hasn't worked. Like I said, I just haven't had the energy. And then you couple that with like going into the office and things like that. And the type of work that it's not necessarily going into the office. It's the type of work I'm doing is very like sit down, paying attention to details, doing like a lot of like writing and like research type stuff. And it's just exhausting into itself. So couple that with my adrenals. It's been some time. So yeah, like I've taken out the pages I haven't used. You can see I rarely even decorate this. I think I got a new sticker book. This is a Live Love Posh new fitness sticker book. So I did that, but then I didn't even utilize all of these. So you can just kind of see that I try to use it sometimes. And then I just wasn't good with it. I mean, like I said, I didn't even fill any of this out. This is so pretty though. I didn't even fill this out. See, I'm just really bad at tracking stuff. Didn't set up the week. I did work out. I did work out a couple days. But yeah, I mean, you can see, I mean, look at this. There we go. I worked out. Planned. This I didn't work out on the 17th, so I didn't work out that whole week. I think I might not have been feeling well. So I moved it to the 24th. And I was like, I'm going to use these pages. So I did use it for a different week. And then we have April. Like I said, at the time of filming, we're just in the middle of the month. This month has been kind of hit or miss. I've been doing a lot of upper body workouts just because I like some of the upper bodies. But you can see I'm not really doing anything else. I'm not tracking my meals. I'm only tracking my workouts. And I really need to track symptoms and meals and things like that. So that's kind of where I am. And like I said, I don't blame the planner for it. I just blame my like current like physical state, I guess you could say, or like how I feel is kind of the reason for it. I am going to continue on in this planner in the month of May, just because, like I said, April, I have a work trip and then I come back and I literally have 2 weeks and then I go Wilds and then I come back and it's like a week left in the month. So I'm like, at this point, I'm going to try to do some things to kind of make my adrenals kind of start on their healing journey. And there's a couple of other things I have doctor's appointments for to try to fix some other health related things. But I don't think all of that can be done with like food and stuff like that. So we're not going to bring all that up. But I think I'm going to work in here. I do think I'm contemplating in June. June will kind of start where I think I don't have anything coming up. I think I might want to move into my new passion planner. You know, you get new planners. I got this in March. Yes, because it's Pi Day. $3.14. I got this in March, and I've held out that long. Like, that long. I really wanted to start it in April, but it was like April, I knew I had a work trip coming up, and then I knew Goodwill was in May. I'm like, I'm not doing that. But I really want to start anew. I want to start over again. So I may move into this in June. I knew it would make more sense to hold out to July, but I just don't want to wait. And the way I'm kind of thinking is this is only like 90 days in here, but it's not dated. Your months are at the front, and then you just have 92 days, I actually believe, of daily pages, and they're 2-page daily pages. So in theory, if I forgot to do a day, then the next day it might be the 7th, and then it might be the 10th, the following day. So I could have more than 3 months in this particular planner. However, if I am gung-ho, then this will be 3 months, then I will get another one for the next 3 months. And then December, I might just end in some random planner that I have, just to kind of end the year. Before I start again in my passion planner. I do think it's fun. And I think sometimes when you get a new planner, like I said, I just started this planner in January, but I was using something that was very, very similar for the last 6 months of last year. So it does kind of get stale, even though, like I said, I wasn't an Erin Condren. It was a Go Getter Girl, very similar layouts. I feel like it just gets stale, and sometimes you want something new and fresh. So I think I'm going to try this. I might try this like this year, might start it next year, and then maybe next June or July, I have the other half of this one. I could bring that in to kind of break up any type of boredom I'm having at that time. But yeah, I think I might want to start this in June. I think it could be fun. I like this. I can be a little creative with it. Maybe have some fun. Maybe we'll do some more plan with me, guys. Yes, we will. And then I have some stuff over here. So I think that's what I might change up as far as planning. See if this kind of brings back the motivation to track things. I can't blame exhaustion for that. But as far as getting back on track in general, that I'm going to try to slowly do this month. I will say with Go Wild, that's going to be a little bit of an issue, but I just, like when they have Plan JAMA, they do have food. But a lot of times it is kind of think of bar foods. I mean, I've only been once, but it was kind of like bar foodie, which isn't something that is the best when you have like dietary restrictions, like gluten-free, or, if you do have any other types of allergies. So I might just like eat beforehand or something like that this year. And like I said, at the time of filming, I have yet to go on my work trip to Vegas. By the time this goes up, I probably am already back. I'm going to try my best to kind of stay on track there. I mean, I'm going to drink alcohol. I'm not going to drink a lot, but I'm going to enjoy myself to some extent. Have a drink or two, So I'm not going to be perfect when I'm there. And I know that is also not the best. But I also don't want to, not have fun. But not saying you need to have a drink to have fun. But, I might want to have, enjoy a frozen concoction while I'm out and about. So whatever. I told y'all this was going to be chatty. But I am going to set my main goals, because why not? So I'm not going to do any stickers or anything like that. So we're going to just say for my fitness, my goals are going to be yoga. That's going to be my main form of exercise. I am going to add in Pilates. I would like to add in bar, but I don't know if bar gets the heart rate up sometimes a little too much, where I'm trying to do workouts that keep my heart rate down. I do have a tendency to get a higher heart rate when I work out, so I do need to watch it. So I might do bar. We'll put that here. And then I really need to do like the foam roll. And stretching. So that's going to be like, that's what my fitness is. Oh, I forgot the one thing. Morning walk. Okay, there we go. Morning walks on telework days and weekends. Okay, so my nutrition, I mentioned it's pretty much the same. I need to stay gluten-free, so we're going to say no gluten. we're going to say reduce processed foods. And the only reason why I'm saying that is like for instance, like my work trip, like I'm going to take like Quest protein bars with me because, I'm going to a conference. I probably can't, I don't know that I'm going to be able to eat their breakfast just because of, again, dietary restrictions. So like a protein bar is something that I can eat that has enough calories that can hold me over until I can have lunch. So the same thing with Go Wilds. I'm going to have to like take some type of processed food to snack on that has enough calories to hold me over. So I can't always do like the fruit or anything like that because it just might not be enough to hold me over. I need something that can almost double as like, I don't want to say meal replacement, but for breakfast, that pretty much is what it is. So yes, I need to decrease processed food. Come June, that may change to like almost eliminate. Gotta say almost because there has to be room to actually have some. You never know what's going to happen. Meetings can pop up, work type stuff where you have to wake up early and that's the only thing you can grab. So 0 processed food. That's also going to be 0. I really want 0, but we're going to say because of the processed food, we're going to say decrease added sugars. Again, that's like processed food, but we're also going to say, we're going to try to stick to like low sugar foods though. That's going to be a little bit of a difficult thing when it comes to like my smoothies and I do my fruit smoothies because, bananas kind of high in sugar and I love me a good half a banana in my smoothie. Half a banana might be okay. So we're going to do that. And then I think I'm going to just say balanced meals. I had to put the 3 times daily because I usually just eat 2 times a day. But yeah, so we need to do that. And then for wellness. So my doctor has put me on a new supplement, or should I say supplements? They are not cheap. So I've got to stay on top of my adrenal supplements. It was like $80 some for 2 supplements for like a 60-day supply. Which I know in the grand scheme of things, as high as medication is, that's probably not that bad. But it is an over-the-counter supplement. So to me, that was kind of expensive. That's it. That's all I'm going to focus on in May. Like I said, a lot of these were kind of like doctor type thing, me chatting with my doctor. So like, I'm not an expert. I do see a doctor. My doctor, we kind of go over things. She's really good. She doesn't like look at me like I'm crazy when I say I need to do that. She actually recommends a lot of the stuff. So I love her. So this is what I'm going to focus on May. This will probably be the types of things I'm going to focus on probably for the foreseeable future. Maybe just amped up a little bit as the months go on and some of the stuff starts to become routine, then I can start adding other things in. Like I said, in June, it might be one of the things of really no processed sugar or like no added sugar. I mean, no processed food, no added sugars type thing, but with like a room for like just a little bit of slip ups, but we kind of want to aim for none. So there might be increases like that. So I think that's it. Like I said, this was going to be a chatty video. I like to have some of these every once in a while. I haven't been doing a lot of these fitness and wellness, set up videos. So I figure we can kind of just do it as a check-in. And like I said, I'm thinking I might be jumping into this. I really don't like this lime green. I might have to cut this. Sorry. But, I think I might just jump into this in June instead of when I should, which is July, which would make it even. I think I'm gonna just do it. I just want to. I need some type of thing that's gonna make me get in this planner more, or in a wellness planner in general. And this may just be it. So if I do, the benefit is I probably will be filming more videos because I can have a lot of fun on this page. So there might be some more videos. So. All right, guys, there we go. That is kind of my little chit chat about what's going on with me when it comes to health and wellness and all things like that, as in addition to planning and goals and things like that. I just want to kind of come in here and chat with you guys because, like I said, health and wellness planning has been a staple on my channel. So I figured, being as I'm not doing it as much, I should tell you guys why and chat a little bit about it. I do hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please press that like button. If you've yet to subscribe, I hope you would also consider subscribing to my channel. That is all I have for now. I hope you have a good rest of your day, evening, or night. Until next time, bye.